Good afternoon everybody, welcome to the Edinburgh Tour. My name is John. We're driving downstairs, we've got Colin driving the bus for us downstairs. So it's a hop on hop off tour, remember, if you want to find the word, you can shout at what Colin will put the bus for us, and we'll get the bus off downstairs. Or you guys from Birmingham, if you want up on the word, just press the red button and you can see right there. And again Colin will stop our bus stop and let you off. You okay young lady? What's your name? We get you to that. Over there, that you can see. The statue you can see the man on the horse is the Duke of Wellington. The horse is called Copenhagen, and he served directing troops at the Battle of Waterloo. A beautiful statue that. Look at the horse's face, it's absolutely gorgeous. That's called the three metal statue. It is of the Iron Duke and bronze by Sir John Steele. Sir John Steele was quite a famous sculptor back in his day. There's a few examples of his work all around Edinburgh. I'll point them out to you as we're going along. The building behind it is East Register House. That is what we call the offices of the hatches, matches and dispatches. So if you think you've got a Scottish ancestry, you just go in that building, they've given you your details and they will check up and see if you do. Okay there? You okay? Too hot? In Edinburgh, we don't see that very often, trust me. So that's the East Register House. I said the offices of the hatches, matches and dispatches. You okay there? This building here, the tall clock tower, that's the 5-star Balmoral Hotel. That was built in 1902 by the North British Railway Company. They built a lot of hotels in North British Railway Company, usually right beside the main railway stations. People would come out the hotel, out the station, get a lift right into the hotel. There's any Harry Potter fans on Bus J.K. Rowling, she wrote the big chapter on Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows in that hotel. In suite number 552 on the 1st of January 2007, she finished Harry Potter there in the Deathly Hallows. in suite number 552 of that hotel. That suite, you can rent that suite if you want, it costs you about £5,000 per night. That's not the most expensive suite in that hotel. We've got the Scone and Crombie suite, and they reckon that costs upwards of £7,000 per night to stay in that hotel. And that's the Waverley Station down there in the valley. All things here are called Waverley. We've got the Waverley Station, the Waverley Pen Company there, and then we've got the Waverley Bridge. And directly in front of us on the right hand side here, this large monument you can see here, that's the Walter Scott Monument. And the connection to Waverley is that he wrote a series of books called the Waverley Novels. And he's the man that's credited with starting off our tourist industry in Scotland. He romanticised Scotland to make it such a nice place that all you lovely people would want to come and visit it. So it's thanks to Walter Scott and you guys here, of course, that Colin and I have a job in the tourist industry. So thank you very much. The monument itself is 200 feet 6 inches tall, and there are 287 steps inside that monument. If you want, you can climb all the way up to the very top, and once you do, you'll be rewarded by wonderful views all around Edinburgh. Sister here happy to tell you guys. So this dot is, as she says, forgot your name already. Majida. You're a goalkeeper or something? You're doing like a flash. The next stop is called the St Andrew's Square. This is St Andrew's Square we're on just now. This square is named after a post patron saint of Scotland, St Andrew. Column in the centre of the square, that is the Noble Monument. That's to a man called Henry Dundas. He was First Lord of Admiralty and he was Treasurer of the Royal Navy. He was a very powerful politician here in the UK at the end of the 18th century. The monument, it weighs 1,500 tons. It is 152 feet high. The man at the top of that is Henry Dundas, the first Viscount Noble. Because of a financial irregularity with money, in 1806 he was the last MP in this country to have been impeached. It was to do with the sailors paid for that monument for him. Some say the money was given voluntary, and others say the money was taken out the wages whether they liked it or not. And knowing about that man, probably took it without them, without their permission. And because of that, he was the last MP in this country, as I said, to be impeached. And of course, surprise, surprise, being an MP, he walked free from court. He was discharged. But he never held again high public office again in this country, in the UK. The monument, like I say, is 152 feet tall. If you've been to London, you may have seen the monument in Trafalgar Square to Lord Nelson. Have you? Have you seen a Nelson? How tall is that? Oh, you're going to go? It's 169 feet tall. Hey, Oz, how you doing?
Thank you.
You've not climbed after sea already, have you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you get to the top?
Yeah, we did.
How long did it take you?
I don't know. Half an hour.
Aye, right. Half an hour?
Yeah. Yep.
Add an hour onto that.
Not sure.
Yeah. That's pretty good though. The fastest I've known somebody climb that is a French girl. She's actually an athlete. She ran up after in 40 minutes. She ran it in 40 minutes, she says.
Very fast.
That's pretty good. You get a nice view though, yeah?
Yeah,
Did you see the English border?
Don't know.
You didn't want to see it. Yeah, nice to see you back again. So, we're in St Andrew's Square just now. At one time, this was Edinburgh's financial district at one time. In 1850, we say that there was something like 16 banks or building societies had their headquarters here in St Andrew's Square. Over the years, most of them, well, all of them except one have moved out. And on Lothian Road, we've got a sort of new financial district on Lothian Road. And out towards Edinburgh Airport, there's a small purpose-built business park, and again, some of our financial institutions are based out there. We're just waiting, the translate's changing because of the trams. The trams in this are quite new, we've only had them about 8 years or something, the new trams, and they've got priority over everything basically. Even if a tram's about a mile away, and if there's a set of traffic lights, we've got to wait on that tram, getting through the traffic lights. You know, we've got priority over everything. So while we're here looking straight ahead, it's Harvey Nichols there, a Louis Vuitton on the other side. And there's a Gucci shop going to be arriving here very, very shortly. So this is quite a high-end market, you know, area of Edinburgh. Quite high-price shops in here. Then Future Street, just to see the other side of things, we've also got a Primark. Just on your left-hand side coming up is Dundas House. This is only a banking establishment. It's near left on St Andrew Square. That building was built by a man called Lawrence Dundas. It was Henry Dundas on the top of that monument. This was his second cousin, Lawrence Dundas. As I say, that is now the headquarters of the Royal Bank of Scotland. The restaurants you can see on your left hand side, originally these were all either banks or building societies headquarters, and as you can see now, Wagamama, Dishu, Mirna, Gordon Ramsay's, Gaucho, and Gordon Ramsay. At the very end here we've got the Ivy restaurant. So this area here, this is the new town of Edinburgh we're in just now. Well, although we call it the new town, it's still 250 years old. This is Edinburgh's new town. It was designed in the 1760s. A young man called James Craig, he designed the layout of the streets of Edinburgh's new town. Just a very simple grid pattern. There was 3 streets running east to west and 5 streets going north to south. He was only 26 years of age, James Craig, 26 years old, when he designed the layout of the new town of Edinburgh. The streets, as I said, James Craig, the houses of Edinburgh's new town were designed by a man called Robert Adam, and they're all built mainly in the Georgian style, because we're in the Georgian part of Edinburgh just now. And Georgian people, they love 2 things. They love money, they love their wealth, and showing off their wealth, and they also love symmetry. Everything has to match each other. You know, they like mirror images of each other. The end of the square here, you see a square garden there, and the building I showed you earlier on was meant to be a church. When we get to the other end of George Street, you'll see a square garden again, private this time, and there is a church there. There was meant to be a church there, but they didn't get done that. The church that was meant to be built there actually sits just along here in George Street. As soon as we start moving it, you look along to your left, you'll see that church that was meant to sit there. And at the far end of George Street, like I said, there is a church and a square garden. Because we like everything to match. We want both ends of George Street to match each other. We're going to head over to Queen Street now. Queen Street was the start of Edinburgh's main streets of the new town. We came along Princess Street shortly. We just passed, about a ago we came along Princess Street. We just passed George Street. We're now going to go on to Queen Street. And we're going to turn left along Queen Street. Queen Street used to be called 4th Street. That was changed, George III, he changed the name to honour his wife, Queen Charlotte Sophia of Mecklenburg. And this is now called Queen Street. As we go along Queen Street, on your right hand side you'll see private gardens, and on the left hand side housing. At one time every door you will see these were private townhouses. This area of the new town was built to accommodate the overspill from the old city of Edinburgh. These were at one time all private houses. Most of them now have been converted into flats or offices, and there's shops. There's 1 or 2 commercial properties. There's one just coming up there, a professional tailor. But when the new town of Edinburgh was built, none of these shops existed. This was 100% residential. The other side of the gardens, that was the second phase of the new town of Edinburgh, built in the 1800s onwards. And that was mainly in the Victorian style of buildings. Those really connected and short and saw buildings. And we were went back to Liverpool. All these posters you can see along the basement, that's to advertise the Edinburgh International Festival. They're starting, the tattoo starting on Friday, and it goes for about basically the whole of August, Edinburgh International Festival. And these posters are for the Fringe Festival. This street here is called North Castle Street, and the reason it's called Castle Street is because looking straight ahead, the park of Edinburgh Castle. We're coming up on our left hand side shortly, the doors you can see there, at number 39. It's a grey door just coming up. This was the Edinburgh home of Sir Walter Scott. You saw his monument a little while ago, and this was his Edinburgh home here. Now he also owned another property here in Scotland, a place called Abbotsford, and that sits on the banks of the River Tweed down the Scottish border. Beautiful part of Scotland. And it's near the small town of Melrose. And he lived there until he died 21st of September 1832, and he is now buried in Dryborough Abbey, again near the small town of Melrose. That's number 39 just coming up on your left now. So we're now joining George Street. The statue we're going to swing round is of Thomas Chalmers. He was the first moderator of the Free Church of Scotland. So we're now in George Street, just coming up on your right hand side. The greyish building that sort of sticks out from the rest, the headquarters of the Church of Scotland. And up on your left hand side there's a pub called the Alexander Graham Bell. That's named after, of course, the gentleman that invented the telephone. When we have Canadians on the bus, they try and claim Alexander Graham Bell. They say he was Canadian, which I'm afraid is utter nonsense. I can show you in just a second the exact house where Alexander Graham Bell was born. In fact, if you look ahead now, you'll see a red traffic light to the right hand side, a group of people standing there. Just to the right of the traffic light, underneath that yellow to let sign, there's a blue door. That blue door, that's number 14 South Charlotte Street. And it was in that house on the 3rd of March 1847, that is where Alexander Graham Bell was born. So of course that makes him definitely Scottish. But he did immigrate to Canada and then eventually to America, where he presented his patent for the telephone on the 14th of February 1876. So we're now entering our first master here in Scotland. Are you okay? You're looking worried, what's wrong? Eh? Oh, you're sleepy. I thought you were worried that you missed your sleep. Hello. Okay. So you're okay though? That's the monument to Catherine Sinclair. She was a child's author and a friend of Sir Walter Scott. Very unusual to see any monuments in Edinburgh to women. If you see a statue or a monument to a woman in Edinburgh, normally it's Queen Victoria, but this is one of the few that are to someone else. And that is Catherine Sinclair, and she was a child's author, and she was a friend of Sir Walter Scott. And she was a very humanitarian woman. She was responsible, as daft as it sounds, she was responsible for putting a series of drinking fountains here in Edinburgh. Because the water in Edinburgh, the state of the water in drinking water is absolutely full. And she came along and she made sure that it was clean drinking water that went through these fountains. So we're back on Queen Street, just for a sec. You see these gardens. Now these gardens are still private to this day. They're private when the city was laid out, the plan was laid out, and they're still private to this day. Just over the other side of the gardens there, and that's the second phase of the new town built in the Victorian style. And there's the road just on the other side there is called Herry Road, after Prince Frederick, one of George III's sons. And he went on to become the Duke of York. And he was the man that managed to keep up that hill all the way back to statue in Johnson of William Pitt the Younger. This man was the youngest ever Prime Minister in this country. There you go. This stuff, I keep forgetting that it was out of commission for a while and just started using it again, so I keep forgetting about it. But this is stuff before, if you want to explore this area, Prince Street. The castle itself, it goes back to the Bronze Age. There was some fortress of some description there since the Bronze Age. The oldest building in Edinburgh is on Edinburgh Castle, it's Queen Margaret's Chapel, and that goes back to 1128. The castle was 350 million years old. Can I help you? Just around the corner. The statue coming up just on your left is a man called Sir James Young Simpson. You maybe never heard of James Young Simpson, but if you had an operation or anything like that, you owe that man a bit of thanks, because that's the man, along with his medical team, they discovered the anaesthetic properties of chloroform. No, wait till he goes in the corner, please. Don't want you falling down the stairs. I'm thinking of your health. So that's Sir James Young Simpson, along with his team of experts, they discovered the anaesthetic properties of chloroform. Because before he came along, if you had an operation, basically, you were just tied to a table and a bit of wood stuck in your mouth, bite on that was your pain relief, and you had to get on with it. Nowadays they just put you to sleep, which is a lot easier.
Stop number 5 is coming up shortly.
We've got to get my young assistant baby number 5 to the west end of Edinburgh. Over in your right hand side, the Waldorf Astoria Caledonian Hotel Edinburgh. That is the far away opening of that building, archway there. In fact, that was the entrance to the railway station. It's built by the Caledonian Railway Company. Somebody coming down here, please, Colin, thank you. And they closed the railway station in 1965. The hotel, a beautiful hotel, lovely. Inside the hotel, pure 5-star treatment. There you go, young lady. You're welcome. Down near your left hand side, that is Cuthbert's Kirkyard. Are you getting off here? Are you getting off here? No. That's Cuthbert's Kirkyard on your left hand side there. And that is only 1,200 people when it's full. Not the largest theatre in Edinburgh, we've got the Playhouse Theatre here in Edinburgh. And seat-wise, the Playhouse is the largest in the UK. That will hold 3,000 people. But this building here, beautiful building inside, built by acoustic engineers. The acoustics are said to be the best in Europe. Afternoon guys, you alright? You get there? You're lucky. Where are you guys from? Oh, wonderful. Yeah, you certainly did. When are you leaving? So we'll know it will disappear as soon as you go. I've been to Florida a few times. Yeah, but that's why you go to Mum. Until you know, that's why you go to Florida, you know. Until you know. Last time I was here, I flew up to Dallas for 4 days as well. I love Dallas. Yeah. I watched the show the JFK stuff. So welcome to you guys. My name is John. Don't say the driver's call. This area is called Clinton Bridge. In 1930, a young man born here. You probably heard of him because he grew up to be the first and the best ever James Bond. Listening to That was a very, very common thing in the UK right up until the 1970s. He then joined the Royal Navy. Unfortunately, he was discharged from the Royal Navy. He suffered. Back in the UK, performed action, and the rest, as they say, is history. He was born 1930, he was given the Freedom of Edinburgh 1991. He was honoured by Her Majesty in the year 2000. And Sean Connery unfortunately passed away 4 years ago this October, already, since there was Sean Connery. So very, very fondly remember being in Scotland. Things happen to like cats if you're on the bus, right? Cats? Cats. A cat's cafe right there. Maison de Monde. You can go in there and sit and stroke a cat and have a cup of coffee. You hire the cat for £12 an hour. £12 an hour to sit and stroke a cat.
For the grass market.
But that's what I was listening here. Very lovely talking voice, wasn't it? So, this is the grass market. It used to be called Newbiggin under the castle. Newbiggin simply meant new housing or new buildings. Nobody? Nobody coming down? Okay. Nobody coming down. Don't think calling. No. So this is the grass market. This is a very popular place, as you can see, especially when it's decent weather, especially the weekends. A lot of hen parties, stag parties coming up here, celebrating, commiserating, whatever, the last few days of freedom, before they sign on that dotted line and become happily married, like the rest of us. I'm only kidding. So her family came to claim the body, to take it back to Musselburgh, that's where she came from, to give her a proper burial. There's a pub called the Maggie Dixon, that's the story I'm telling you right now, Maggie Dixon. So her family came to claim the body, took it back to Musselburgh. On the way back to Musselburgh, they heard a strange noise. They heard on the coffin. So they stopped. They opened the coffin lid and Maggie sat up. She was survived their hanging. Double jeopardy kicked in. The death certificate had already been signed. She could not be tried again. She was free to go. She was classed as a ghost, neither alive nor dead. And ghosts pay no taxes. She's forever known in Edinburgh here as half hanging Maggie, or half hanging Maggie. And again, with her several more children, and look at the young one. Welcome to you guys if you've joined us. Where are you guys from? Midland, Derbyshire. The wee statue on your left hand side just coming up here. That wee statue is Greyfriars Bobby. I'll show you. Florida, down there. Yeah, behind you. The wee statue, Greyfriars Bobby. You see him? That is the most photographed statue in the whole of Scotland.
The dog.
You see his little nose? All the people under the lamppost. Did you not see it? Colin, reverse the bus. Reverse the bus back, Colin. The lady never saw it. That wee statue there, I'll show you it's there. That statue is a Greyfriars Bobby. And that wee statue is the most photographed in Scotland. Those that did see the statue, did you see his gold coloured nose? And that's carried by students. Is there any students on the bus? Any students? I hate students. I do. I hate students. They start the habit of rubbing that dog's nose for luck. As we see here in Scotland, don't you do that? Please don't do it. Do not rub his nose because you're wearing it away. There's a wee Skye Terrier that is God fans. That is all. J.K. Rowling, you still live in Edinburgh, or neither confirm or deny this. Okay? But there's a couple of things I can tell you that might change your mind. 2 of J.K. Rowling's children were educated in that school. She still lives here in Edinburgh. 2 of her kids were educated at that school. If you're still on the bus in Georgeford Bridge, there's a cafe in Georgeford Bridge called the Elephant House Cafe. And that cafe, they claim to be the birthplace of Harry Potter. They claim J.K. Rowling sat in that building and wrote the books. They claim. If she did, she looked straight onto that school where her kids were educated. She'd also look straight onto Greyfriars Kirkyard. Now if you've got time, well you're here in Edinburgh, if you've got time, take a wee walk to Greyfriars Kirkyard and look at the headstones. And on 8 of those headstones are names that appear in the Harry Potter books. J.K. Rowling, she says, what a coincidence. 8 of them. Make up your own mind. I've never seen a Harry Potter book, I've never read a film. I've never seen the film, I don't know. But, you know, that is the story. As I say, she still lives here in Edinburgh. A very nice part of Edinburgh, you know. She can afford it though. The last rich estate came out, Paul McCarthy's a billionaire. Well, happy for him. Also, J.K. Rowling now worth 945 million. So she, as I say, 2 of her children went to that school there. So she can afford it, you know. As I say, she's well rich. 945 million for writing a book about a wee boy with glasses. But, was it her idea? There are stories, but of course, I don't know who's on this bus, so I'm not going to say any more than that. Okay? Well, there's rumours. There are rumours, but as I said, I don't know who could go on this bus. Because I think that J.K. Rowling is going to So, coming ahead here, the building, you can see Argyle House. This is an example of 1960s beautiful architecture. Sheila Lee's one of the building. Unfortunately, that is a listed building here in Edinburgh. A listed building is basically, we can't change anything about that building. And the reason it's a listed building is to protect it, is to preserve a certain kind of architecture. The bus stop here coming up, this is, sorry I forgot my pre-town here, bus stop number 6. Bus stop number 8 is for the bottom of Johnson Terrace or King's Bridge. Not the stop for the castle, not yet. Sorry? So, we're climbing up Johnson Terrace just now. We've just passed over a bridge here. We've got 6 bridges in Edinburgh, but the funny thing is, we've got no rivers here in Edinburgh. When you go across a bridge in the city, all you're doing is going across another street. We're a city that's built on 2 levels. A minute ago we were down in the Grass Market, as you can see it's the way down below us now. On your left hand side there, that large structure you can see, that is the temporary seating for the Edinburgh military tattoo. That gets built up there every year. They start that in May, they put up the scaffold in there, and then they put the seats, so it's quite impressive to watch them build it. And that will come down as soon as it... A mile, but it's actually longer than a mile. It's a Scottish mile. You see in Scotland we do everything bigger and better than anywhere else. It's a Scottish mile. It's 1 mile and 1/8 long. If you walk the Royal Mile, which in a nice day is a lovely thing to do, always walk down the way we are heading just now. Always walk down the Royal Mile. It's a lot steeper than it looks, and as I say, it's longer as well. The lighting, do you like it? Not one, I like it. There's a lot of them, it's okay, but one in its own. So why is it called the Royal Mile? Is that question we get asked a lot. Well, it's very simple. Holyrood Palace is a royal residence to this day. The castle was a royal residence back in 1566 when Mary Queen of Scots gave birth to her son James VI. So that was a royal residence. And the Royal Mile connects both those 2 buildings together. And that's why it's called the Royal Mile. It's very, very simple. The street we're on now, this is George IV Bridge. And as I said earlier, we've got 6 bridges here in Edinburgh, but no river. You go across the bridge, you're just crossing the street. To your left and to your right, it's the right. Now, it's the big road. Cowgate. Cowgate is the second of the streets in Edinburgh. And that is the road that the farmers and drovers would have Florida. Here's your chance to see the statue now. Right. You see where all those people are stacking? Can you see the lamppost across there? You see the lamppost?
Yeah.
But good thing. But the small things are always the best. Anyway, that's the most photographed statue in Scotland. You've seen it now, yes? Absolutely not. You can tell people now you've seen Greyfriars Bobby.
Stop number 10.
This is for the museum. You going away, guys? Okay. You need a sleep. You need to sleep. You're tired. Yeah? Okay, this is the... Okay, bye-bye. See you later, girls. This is the stop for the National Museum of Scotland. That's it across there. Although it says the National Museum of Scotland, there are over 8,000 things you can look at from all over the world in that building. It will genuinely take you a week to see everything in that building there. Opens at 10 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon, and it's free to visit. All the museums, well, 99% of the museums in Scotland are free to visit. There are one or two small private museums you pay for them, but most of the museums are free to enter. Things from all over the world. Over 8,000 things to look at from all about history and science, animals, everything. The most famous thing in there, what are they? Do you know what the most famous exhibit in that building is? Dolly the sheep. You heard of Dolly? Absolutely. The first ever cloned animal in the world. She was born out at Roslin Institute just south of Edinburgh in 1996. Dolly, as I say, born in 1996. She had 6 lambs and she passed away in 2003. And she's on display in that building there in a glass case. They went across America and became a signatory on the American Declaration of Independence. He also founded and was president of Princeton University. Now, because I like you guys, I'm going to ask you a question. No help you, okay? John Witherspoon, with an I, has a direct descendant, an actress. Something. Thanks, guys, thank you. Reese Witherspoon. I asked the question when I was speaking, somebody said Brooke Shields. Did you say it? Well, you've got an honest face, I'm going to believe you. Oh, she's great. E.T. that was too bad, wasn't it? Legal is wrong, that's the problem. Then we've got a sharp knife. Then we've got a sharp knife in here. That's the John Kirk here, so I'm getting very cheeky. That's the John Kirk here. Sean's a Scottish word for a weighing mechanism. Kirk's a Scottish word for a church. So the weighing mechanism was a big land beam that sat there. That was a place of trade and buying and selling. Right now, what's this thing? What stuff is this?
Stop number 11.
Will the assistants here now? Yeah, it's correct. If your Christmas trees can't look a bit shabby or shoddy, don't do it. All year round Christmas shop, the Nutcracker. Go in there and get yourself some new baubles for your tree. Doesn't matter what time of year you go in there, on a lovely summer's winter's days like today, they'll go in there and they'll wish you, ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. Museum of Chelsea, they're not a very interesting shop to go in there. It's a shop come museum. And in there you see all the toys and everything you grew up with as a kid. The strange thing about that establishment, it was built and founded by a man that did not like children. As the Americans say, I love the go figure. I love that saying, I really do, go figure, you know, I think it's brilliant. So where we are now, this was the boundary of the city of Edinburgh. Edinburgh was a walled city back in the day. We were always fighting with our friends down south from England, you know. So eventually, after the Battle of Flodden, where we actually got slaughtered, we built 3 walls to protect ourselves. And this is where the Flodden Wall stood, right at these traffic lights now. Built into the Flodden Wall was a little thing called the Netherbow Port. If you ever look up there, you see that little picture frame up there? The thing inside, it looks like a wee castle. That was the Netherbow Port. And that was a large wooden structure that sat here. And that was how people left and entered the city of Edinburgh. Back in those days, people out of Edinburgh, like nowadays, were very, very poor. They couldn't afford to pay that toll to leave and enter the city of Edinburgh. some people were born here, they lived here, and they died here. They never left England. We didn't know what was out there, so they wouldn't venture. All they knew was that there was England attacking them. So they never left here. This was their order. That's why the top on the right hand side is called the World's End. Because to go through that gate is entering another world. Canning Gate. There's two ways to spell that word, Canning Gate. I'm going to show you both examples, one that breaks it down. The other way is on the right hand side is the arches, and just after the arches is a pub called the Canning's Gate, G-A-I-T. You keep looking at that wall, Canning Gate, the street sign, all one word. It means the same thing, the walk of the monks. Monks walking from the Abbey of Holyrood House to the high cliff of Edinburgh. That building there on your right hand side, that's part of Edinburgh University as well. That's the teacher training college. And that's the building that J.K. Rowling used to go to, which is that right now, with the glasses. Robbie Coltrane, who acted in the films, he also went to that school, as did our 6-time gold medal cyclist, coming up on your left, the Canning Gate Cup. Stop here is the, sorry, I've got my assistant. You stop here for the Canning Gate Cup. That is a royal church. When the royal family, if they're in residence down at the palace down here, they attend that church on a Sunday morning. Now that was also the location of a royal wedding. Princess Anne's daughter, Zara Phillips, she got married in that church. On the 30th of July 2011, she married a man called Mike Tyndall. Mike Tyndall was an international rugby player. Played for a small team down south they called England. That was it, England. And of course Gloucester as well. And he got married in that church 30th of July 2011. Well, we're here, just in the graveyard there. A man called Adam Smith is buried in there. No, she just decided to come up here and get married. That simple as that. There's no. And Princess Anne, very, very fond of Scotland. She's actually the patron, would you believe, of the Scottish rugby team. When she comes up to watch the Scotland-England rugby match, she's all decked out in tartan. Yeah, she's just from Scotland. You know, so there's no, wasn't forced, that by her own choice. You know, she got married in the church. And the big celebration palace was held down here in Holyrood Palace. The palace, yeah. Apart from that, she's obviously got sense. Did you want to get married in that picture? I didn't speak English, I speak Scottish. Scottish, aye. Hawkeye the New. He was a Red Indian, you know. Hawkeye the New. Hawkeye. Number 13.
That's number 13.
Yeah, that, eh? And your sister did a job, I'll tell you. This is the stop for the Palace and Abbey of Holyrood House. If you look directly ahead of you, the building with the flat roof, that is the Abbey of Holyrood House. That dates back to 1128. That was built by King David I. Attached to the Abbey was a small guest house. Over the years, bits were added on and added on and added on, and eventually became Holyrood Palace that you see today. When James V married his wife, Margaret Tudor, Henry VII's daughter, he gave her that palace as a wedding present. You guys married, yeah? Did you give her a palace as a wedding present? There was a little gift shop here, the Selby model. You know, that's it. I remember just for this couple of years sitting, I said something, the same thing, are you married? And she just looked at me. She said, we're divorced. I tell you, I'm not often stuck for work. But on that day I was, you know. I just said, well, you seem to get on okay, you know. And what I should have said to her was, she had got her palace. Over the years, but it's called the People's Park now. The late Queen, she presented this land to the people of Edinburgh for the millennium, and this is now called the People's Park. And up there on your left hand side there, those stones that you can see up there, that's Salisbury Cracks. That is the ridge of a 350 million year old volcano you're looking at just now. This is dynamic. It tells you about the Earth from the Big Bang up to the modern day. You go in here, you're transported back to the Big Bang, and you come out, you can walk through the rainforest, touch the iceberg, see the things on the people getting off of this stop, please, Colin, thank you. So if you think you've seen the building before, it is a copy of the O2 Arena down in London. Yes.
They're no good.
Yes. Or, so in New South Wales, Manly Warringah. You like Manly Warringah? You like rugby league, you know? Yeah, you do it, too. Do it. Manly Warringah, wait. Seagulls. No, but Barcelona, Tottenham, and Heart of Midlothian. Thanks for everybody else in Scotland. Much. Oh, no, what's that? House number's number 91. How do you figure that out? Right, this building here, Oz, you can tell me. That building is the headquarters of Rockstar North. You heard of Rockstar North? Are you a gambling man? And I'll bet you those sunglasses in your face. I'll bet you know what that company makes. Would you take that wager on? Have you heard of Grand Theft Auto? Give me the glasses. Told you I get them. Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption. That's the headquarters of the Rockstar North. That's the company that make those two computer games. I'm going to surprise you with more. The Scottish invention. Yeah, absolutely. Two young boys from Dundee signed that company in 1986. You shouldn't be surprised to see in Scotland. Too much of business Florida, look at this. Show you in front of you. See the two colours over on the left hand side? Flying to England, and it was flying to Scotland. Right. Look straight ahead, you see a fountain in the courtyard here, straight ahead. If there's water flowing through that fountain, that means there's a member of the royal family from residence of the palace. 3 weeks ago, Charles was here to the water flowing through. See, there's guides in this guides, that's all I can see. Well, if there's water flowing through it, it means there's a member of the royal family in residence. Or it could be the moderator of the Free Church of the General Assembly of Scotland. Sorry, he's the head man in the Church of Scotland. If he's staying there, water flows through it as well. No water, he's just staying there. No water for you, I'm afraid. She was here 3 weeks ago. King Charles was here 3 weeks ago. That's what that was. It's a copy of the fountain at the Holyrood Palace. That's when Mary Queen of Scots was born, 8th of December 1542. So, yeah, that's true. She died at Balmoral, and she was the first woman to die in Scotland since 1543 when James V died. But she died at Balmoral, they brought her into Edinburgh, into the palace there, and then they took her to the High Kirk of Edinburgh. But we know that's St. George, but technically it's not the cathedral. No bishops, no cathedral. So, after they brought her down here into the palace, and then they took her up to High Kirk of Edinburgh, and she lay in there, and they say that in just over 24 hours, 33,000 people walked past her coffin to pay their respects to her. No, not there. It was private. She was private in there. Nobody got in there. It was up at the High Kirk of Edinburgh. Or as I say, it gets called St. George Cathedral. Well, after she was in St. George Cathedral, we took her back to the palace, and then she was taken down to London. Right. Parma Street, the height of Arrows. That's 823 feet high, or 251 metres. My young pals from Australia earlier on the bus, they climbed the bathroom seat and said, how long did it take you? They said, half an hour. I said, yeah, on your dreams, you know. And I had a French girl on the bus last year, and she is an athlete, and she said she run a bathroom seat in 40 minutes. That's not bad at all, 40 minutes to the top. Just coming up shortly, we've got a monument to Rabbie Burns, our national bard. There is there. They used to have a statue at the top of that monument. But there was down in the valley. There was a gasworks down there, and there was leakage coming from the gasworks, and it was damaging the statue. So they decided to move it to the National Portrait Gallery in Edinburgh, and that's where it sits now. Carefully see. That's the graveyard of the Canongate Kirk that we saw earlier on. And that's a view from Edinburgh Castle all the way down the Royal Mile. All these new modern buildings start to take away the sort of essence of the old town. And finally, just before we finish, this building here on your left, this is St Andrew's House. This is the offices of the Scottish Parliament, and this is opened in 2nd of September 1939. And that was the day after the Second World War was declared. And this is now the offices, like I said, of the MSPs, and that is built above an old jail, the old Calton jail. And some people think it's a wee bit ironic, MSPs want to build above a jail, you know. But I couldn't have possibly comment. Florida, you've got the final word on the tour, right? I don't know if, well, we're not quite there. We're just going forward. Keep looking. I hope you see this statue. Up there, can you see in the skyline the statue up there of a man?
Yeah.
You know who that is?
Got him.
Very distinctive. That is Abraham Lincoln. That is the first statue outside the USA. Not the only, but the first statue outside the USA of Abraham Lincoln. And that's here to commemorate the Scotsmen who fought on the Union side in the American Civil War. And also an emancipation monument for the, you know, the slavery movement that Abraham Lincoln has so much to do with. Here's your mum coming. You think you're getting her out? I think she's giving you a round. She's got that look. She's got that look. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm finished for the day. I'm going home for a beer. And stay on the bus if you want. You'll get another guide. We don't tell.
Same as what I did yesterday.